What, like with a cloth or something? No, well, no.
She didn't just delete tens of thousands of those emails, she wiped the server clean.
The server will remain private.
I've been the most transparent public official in modern times, as far as I know.
Is this how you do it? Roping off the press and their questions from even talking to you at a parade?
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material.
Nothing that was sent at the time or received was secret.
Her defense? They weren't marked classified. They couldn't be marked classified because by not using government servers, she actually prevented the government from reviewing her emails. It is a federal crime to negligently handle classified information under 18 U.S.C. 1924. It is a federal Class A felony under 18 U.S.C. 798. She's committed a Class A misdemeanor under 18 U.S.C. 1924.
If there's a connection between Cairo and Benghazi, she said this: there's no connection between the two. Your experts knew the truth. Your spokesperson knew the truth. Greg Hicks knew the truth. But what troubles me more is I think you knew the truth. You tell the American people one thing, you tell your family an entirely different story.
When she certified under oath, quote, under penalty of perjury to a federal judge, that she had surrendered all of her emails to the State Department. In fact, she had not.
My verdict, based on the evidence, is guilty. What
Story here for anybody willing to find it and write about it and explain it is this vast right-wing conspiracy.
It's no secret that we're going up against some pretty powerful forces that will do and spend whatever it takes to advance a very different vision for America. I am running for President of the United States.
The people want to know Hillary, the Hillary that I knew back here in Arkansas. When she was in the Benghazi hearings, when she said, "What difference does it make? They're dead."
What difference at this point does it make?
That's the Hillary I know.
We came, we saw, he died.
Hi, Secretary Clinton. Would you sign this for me?
Sure. What's your name?
If you can make it out to Christopher Stevens. I think you knew him.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it out to Chris Stevens.
What difference does it make?
Here it goes, here. Yep.
Senator Clinton has extraordinary ability to obfuscate, refuse to answer questions, avoid confrontations, and up until now has been given a pass on it.
A story in the New York Times talking about why Senator Clinton voted this way, because I think some people were surprised by it. And her advisor said that she voted yes because she was moving from primary mode to general election mode. Primary mode versus general election mode? How about tell the truth mode? How about we say the same thing in the primary that we say in the general election?
We know that Hillary's an insecure person. Secure people don't lie. They don't lie inveterately the way she does.
Hillary Clinton points to her time in the White House as a large part of her qualification for the job as president. But most of the news media has conveniently forgotten that her time as First Lady was mired in controversy.
The core of the controversy is how truthful Mrs. Clinton has been in answering questions, sometimes under oath, about Whitewater and other matters.
She was the First Lady to come under criminal investigation. In both Little Rock and Washington, D.C., she was plagued by numerous scandals.
I finally parted company with Hillary Clinton when I saw how she was using private detectives to investigate the women who were linked to her husband. Not to change him, not to reform him, not to make him a better person, but to cow the women into silence so that he could get elected president. I do not want that woman controlling the IRS or the DEA or the NSA or the FBI or the CIA. Not in a democracy, I don't.
One thing about Hillary, Bill was just a good-timing guy. But Hillary, she's an animal. Hillary is the one that I promise you, she pulls the strings. She pulled them in Arkansas. She pulled them in the White House when she was there as the First Lady. And my God, if she gets to be president.
I'll tell you a couple of stories about fraud. The Bohemian Club, as you say, the Bohemian Club? That's where all those rich Republicans go up and stand naked against redwood trees, right? I've never been to the Bohemian Club, but you ought to go. It'd be good for you. Get some fresh air.
I know nothing about the Bohemian Grove with Bill. I know about once a month, Hillary would go out to Los Angeles. And she did it so regular that it became a bit of an issue trying to, why is she always going? Bill told me that she was going out there, she and a group of women, and she would be a part of a witches' church. And man, when Bill told me that, you could have hit me with a baseball bat. I tried to point out to him, you realize what had happened if that got out? Of course, my job is to make sure it didn't get out. Now, I don't know today if Hillary still partakes in the witch ritual. I don't know that I even know what the ritual was. But for the better part of many years, Hillary would go quite often, whether it was regularly once a month or maybe once every couple of months. She would go out on a weekend simply to be a part of it.
Hillary Clinton finally has exposed her true agenda: confiscation of guns in America from law-abiding citizens. Both she and Obama have stated that they'll use executive action if necessary to ensure gun control is accomplished. But now she's begun speaking publicly about using the Australian model as a template for American gun control. By discussing the Australian buyback, what she's making clear is that it's not just the run-of-the-mill gun control that she's after. She wants confiscation, too. The left seems to be in a race to see who can push this issue farthest and fastest, since Obama made reference to the Australian gun grab a year ago, praising the move. Calling the legislation passed in Australia a buyback is deceptive. It was forced confiscation with a modest cash reimbursement to soften the blow. Anyone who chose not to accept that reimbursement and turn in their guns was subject to having them forcibly taken and facing a prison sentence. How did they know whether someone wasn't complying? Because prior to declaring guns contraband, national registration was implemented. Once the guns were registered, it was easy to force compliance. Both Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama have suggested that the way to accomplish this is through executive orders, since Congress won't pass such legislation. They seem to forget that the Second Amendment stands in the way of this scheme, but that doesn't seem to deter either of them. Many gun control activists falsely claim that no one is coming for your guns, but that's a lie. They already have. Remember the door-to-door confiscation of guns in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005? Remember the calls for gun confiscation by New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and others in the aftermath of the Sandy Hook tragedy? Now, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton have come out of the closet and made their true intentions for gun owners clear.
All the secret emails, criminal acts, cover-ups, and that sexual relationship with Huma Abedin that is whispered about in the dark corners of Washington. Hillary Clinton's State Department was a virtual pornographic and criminal enterprise. Besides the secretive relationship Clinton has with Anthony Weiner's wife and closet Muslim Brotherhood member Huma Abedin, there is a litany of pornographic peccadillos and criminal acts. Diplomatic security agents sexually attacked female guards. Clinton security agents routinely solicited prostitutes, and embassy staff were caught running a drug ring in Iraq. But the most disgusting aspect of Clinton's corrupt State Department was Ambassador to Belgium Howard Gutmann, who routinely ditched his security detail in Brussels and solicited prostitutes, including minors. The Inspector General investigating Gutmann charged him with pedophilia, sex with children. But all of this was swept under the rug by the corruptocrat Hillary Clinton. But Clinton, ostensibly out of government, is still pulling the levers of power. The State Department's former chief investigator, Richard Higbee, now turned whistleblower who uncovered much of Hillary Clinton's perfidy, is now suing Slick Willie's better half, and he's paying the price. It was revealed on December 30th, 2013, the same day the huge cache of NSA documents were released, that a hacker group, more than likely the NSA, stole, then deleted, an astounding 4 years' worth of Richard Higbee's emails. The emails included correspondence with other whistleblowers and included a treasure trove of documents revealing a State Department under Clinton that was corrupt to the core. Another State Department whistleblower, Aurelia Fednizen, didn't get her emails stolen. Instead, she received the shakedown treatment, a mob-like visit by State Department thugs who camped out in front of her house and harassed her children. But stealing emails and shakedown tactics was just one part of the attack against State Department whistleblowers. On June 29, 2013, in what is reminiscent of Nixon's plumbers, Richard Higbee and Aurelia Fednizen's lawyer's office was broken into, in which documents and computers were stolen, more than likely ordered by Hillary Clinton's minions. If you think Barack Obama is a corrupt president, you ain't seen nothing yet. Hillary Clinton will make Barack Obama look like a choir boy. And unlike Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton has been around the block a few times and has the keys to all the secret doors in Washington. Most notably, the door that leads to a massive electronic file on every single American. Be afraid, America. Be very afraid.
Today, our country has lost a true American original, my friend and mentor, Robert C. Byrd. Senator Byrd was a man of surpassing eloquence and nobility, and I will remember him for many things. It is almost impossible to imagine the United States Senate without Robert Byrd. He was not just its longest-serving member, he was its heart, its soul, and its historian. From my first day in the Senate, I sought out his guidance, and he was always generous with his time and his wisdom. I admired his tireless advocacy for his West Virginia constituents, his fierce defense of the Constitution and the traditions of the Senate, and his passion for a government that improves the lives of the people it serves. As Secretary of State, I continued to rely on his advice and counsel. Robert C. Byrd led by the power of his example, and he made all of us who had the honor of serving as his colleagues better public servants and better citizens. Robert C. Byrd left such a legacy.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to be back in Houston with so many friends and to have an opportunity to participate in the Planned Parenthood annual meeting. I have to tell you that it was a great privilege when I was told that I would receive this award. I admire Margaret Sanger enormously. Her courage, her tenacity, her vision.
But, you know, I know who Margaret Sanger is. And I know that she believed in eugenics and that she was not particularly enamored with black people. And one of the reasons that you find most of their clinics in black neighborhoods is so that you can find a way to control that population. And I think people should go back and read about Margaret Sanger, who founded this place, a woman who Hillary Clinton, by the way, says that she admires. Look and see what many people in Nazi Germany thought about her.
That she was for targeting certain races, right?
A great person, yeah.
Sanger's admiration for the eugenics programs of Nazi Germany were well known at the time. In 1933, the Birth Control Review published Eugenic Sterilization, an Urgent Need, by Ernst Rudin, who was Hitler's director of genetic sterilization and the founder of the Nazi Society for Racial Hygiene. In her praise for the eugenics programs in Germany, Sanger called for the implementation of such programs in the United States, specifically targeting African Americans. The following editorial was published in the 1932 issue of the Birth Control Review.
The Negro problem is one of the most complicated and important confronting America. Whatever the ultimate answer may be, such an attitude brings to light the function of birth control as a necessary agency in its solution. The present submerged condition of the Negro is due in large part to the high fertility of the race under disastrously adverse circumstances. Thus, the question arises, to what extent birth control has had a eugenic effect upon the Negro race?
If any question should remain about Sanger's racist agenda, a 1939 letter she wrote to Dr. Clarence Gamble should remove all doubt.
We should hire 3 or 4 colored ministers, preferably with social service backgrounds and with engaging personalities. The most successful educational approach to the Negro is through a religious appeal. We don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. And the minister is a man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members.
Can there be any wonder why Planned Parenthood opens its facilities in poor inner-city neighborhoods populated by minorities? Can there be any doubt that Sanger's philosophy of creating a pure race is what fuels Planned Parenthood's support of embryonic stem cell research? Margaret Sanger was a racist. She's responsible for the millions of babies that have been ethnically cleansed from our country and should not be celebrated.
I admire Margaret Sanger enormously. Her courage, her tenacity, her vision. Another of my great friends, Ellen Chesler, is here, who wrote a magnificent biography of Margaret Sanger called Woman of Valor. And when I think about what she did all those years ago in Brooklyn, taking on archetypes, taking on attitudes and accusations flowing from all directions, I am really in awe of her. And there are a lot of lessons that we can learn from her life and from the cause she launched and fought for and sacrificed so greatly.
Believe in sin? When I say believe, I don't mean believe in committing sin. Do you believe there is such a thing as sin?
Well, I think the greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world that have disease from their parents, that have no chance in the world to be a human being, practically. Delinquents, prisoners, all sorts of things just marked when they're born. That, to me, is the greatest sin.
And they are still holding up Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger is one of the worst racists. She is any grand wizard's dream bride. And they still hold her up.
Founder of Planned Parenthood.
Yeah. Still hold her up. The whole idea behind Planned Parenthood was, let's not tell any blacks, let's just get some black preachers. Exactly what he was talking about. Let's get some black preachers on our side, and they'll rope all of the blacks in, and we can kill all the black babies. That is the basis of Planned Parenthood. And are you kidding me? How many African Americans even know that? How many really
Almost
even
none.
understand that? And that the Democratic Party will still give Margaret Sanger awards is an outrage. Yeah, I mean, it's like celebrating. I don't even know, Jefferson Davis, and saying, "Hey, by the way, come on, we're gonna give you, Al Sharpton, the Jefferson Davis Award." What? Who would even accept that? They hold her up. And when they figure it out, when they finally break free from the chains of the media and the parties, when they finally break free of that, you want to talk about disenfranchisement. You want to talk about being pissed. I mean, holy cow.
It'll be 92-8 the other way.
The other way.
That is it for us. I do got to ask you, do you know how to wobble?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you know how to wobble?
I don't.
You know how to wobble? You just lost the black vote right there.
Yeah.
Karen, the black folks on your staff need to teach you how to do the wobble. Trust me.
Can you show me how you do it?
Oh, I can show you how to do it. You're going to pick up some votes, trust me.
But I got to see it in order to know it.
You need some music. I don't really need the music, but I'm just saying.
Okay, who can show me? Come on, don't be shy.
I told y'all Black Network we do a little bit different.
Well, you raised it. Now don't leave me hanging out here.
You put my iPod on? I got music.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, plug this up right now. Y'all know I'll put it on now. Secretary Clinton, it's a pleasure. Thank you so very much. Claflin, thanks you as well. Round of applause, please. Democratic presidential candidate.
Thank you, Roland.
Secretary Hillary Clinton. That's how I told y'all need the music. Don't let the ass Scott fool you.
You can fix your hair like this, and then you can dab. And then, Mrs. President, you can sign a bill, and then you dab. That's it.
I like that.
Dab. That's
now, listen, I just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people again.
Okay. Is it working?
Yeah.